Hello YouTube, this is 2G1W Music, bringing you our first video in the Pokken Tournament series. We have played Pokken Tournament on our main accounts, but not on our 2G1W accounts, so we'll be starting from the beginning. Today we will not be going online, we will be doing the story mode. Probably just going to do the story mode first, before we even touch online mode. So, right now on the gamepad I'm typing in 2G1W Music. And now we will be doing our avatar. Now, I used to use... Wait, no. Right now I main Weavile. I always did main Weavile. I used to use Gengar as a secondary, but now I use Suicune as a secondary. So you'll just see me switching between Weavile and Suicune for this. Throughout the story mode, though, I'll only be using Weavile because I will be trying to make him reach level max. Just skip past this. Now, before we finish, or before we start the actual battles, we'll go change our settings to the advisor. Turn this down to low. And change the voice to Japanese, because that just, the English voice actor for this game isn't that good. And yeah, so we'll start the Ferrum League now. Ferrum League Green, I believe. Yeah, Green League, pretty much it's all 4 leagues. I completed all leagues on my main account without any losses, so you shouldn't see me get any losses here. Starting the beginner league match. Pikachu for our first match. Pikachu's like the most known Pokemon out there, so good way to start off our episode. As you can see in the bottom, no wins, no losses, no battles. So this is just our first match ever right here. We haven't done any offline matches on this account. We haven't done any online matches on this account. Haven't done any local matches. Weavile's a very fast character. You'll see me do some long combos here, only because I want to beat the story mode as fast as I can before I have to go online. That way I could just level up as fast as I can. So for our first round, that was a perfect, good way to start off this series. Oh, got hit. I was gonna try and get a double perfect for the first series, but probably not gonna happen now. So right there, I used my support Pokemon. Your support Pokemon is pretty much the second Pokemon that you don't use it, like you don't control it, you just call it out and it does an attack or it causes a stat boost or a stat defect, things like that. And then after I used my sub Pokemon or my secondary Pokemon, I switched to burst mode, which is pretty much when you fill up your burst meter, you can use your burst mode, which is temporary. It doesn't last the whole match, and it's pretty much just like it boosts all of your stats, and if you use L and R, like if you press L and R while into burst mode, then it uses your burst move, which is pretty much just a cutscene of a high damage move. In this game, there are things called rage and scaling. You want to try and avoid scaling as much as possible, because what it does is the longer a combo goes, the less damage the hits start to do, or the less percent of damage the hits start to do. So it's good to do long combos, but just not into your burst, because then your burst will do very, very low damage. I'll do an example of that right now. First, I'll use my regular burst, and then I'll use a burst with scale on it. So this is regular burst. Oh, never mind, it got blocked. Probably shouldn't be trying to show examples while doing a match, but that's the best way to learn, isn't it? Through experience. Alright, stop the combo. Now just try to collect burst points wherever I could find them. Here's one. Throughout the field, random burst points will show up. Pretty much you collect it, and you get points for your burst gauge. And so, I wasn't able to show you my burst yet. I'll try to do that next match in this league match, or this league set of matches. Now I'll talk to you about the league. So pretty much, as you go through the league, you do league matches, and as you battle, your league rank goes down, like closer to first, kind of down. So like you start off at 60 and then you go down to 1. And once you hit 1, or once you're in the top 8, I believe, or 12, you can do a ranked match, or not a ranked match, a test, which is pretty much to get to the next league. So yeah, now I'll try to show an example of scaling, and then after I show you scaling, I'll talk about rage. Charizard, very heavy character, very aerial heavy, or not aerial heavy, but counter, or not counter, but I'm forgetting the word, power heavy. There we go. Alright, so after this, I'll show you an example of burst. Right there, he's at 1% or 1 health. Support Pokemon cannot kill. They can only get down to 1 health. So you will not see me get any kills from support Pokemon. But now I'll show you the burst. Hopefully it doesn't block this time. Alright, so look at the health gauge in the top right corner. Right there. Does a decent amount of damage. Did about 200, I'd say. Maybe 150. So when we use our next burst, if we do the scaling, it'll do a lot less damage for the burst itself, because as the combo goes on, like I said, it does less and less damage. Alright, now once I get my burst, I'll show you the effects of scaling. My least favorite matchup to have to fight is Chandelure. Once we find a Chandelure online, you'll see why. Or maybe you'll do the same thing offline. Pretty much just a very range spammy character, where pretty much all of their attacks have range. Alright, now I'll show you an example of a burst attack with scaling on it. So right there we did 10 hits. Now look in the top right corner. So we're starting at 97. It would kill from here, but it only goes to 82. That's the effective scaling. It hardly does any damage because we were in the middle of a combo. Now to talk to you about rage. Rage effect in this game, the lower your health is, the more damage you do. It's not the complete opposite of scaling, but it has the opposite effect. So pretty much, if you're at 1 health, or if you're at max health and you do an attack, it'll do about 10 damage. But then if you go to 1 health and you do an attack, it'll do about 50 damage. That's the effect of rage. Right there you saw me do a counter cancel, which is where I look like I'm about to counter, but then I cancel it out and grab. Counter canceling is a very useful tactic in this game because it can pretty much play mind games with your opponent. Now, I'll talk to you about the less technical things in Pokken, like attacks and strong attacks, counters, and grabs. So, attacks have a red aura to them. Counters have a blue aura, so do blocks, and grabs have a green aura. So red beats blue, wait no, my bad. Red beats green, green beats blue, and blue beats red. Sort of like how water beats fire, fire beats grass, grass beats water, which is pretty much the same thing as a regular Pokemon game. So grabs, you can grab a counter and you can grab a block. Attacks, you can attack through a grab, and then counter, you can counter an attack. Or if the counter isn't fully charged, or if your opponent is using a counter and their counter isn't fully charged, you can counter their counter. So pretty much if they try to hit you with their counter, you can use your counter as a counter, using the word counter a lot. Alright, so what I said earlier about how we wouldn't do any online matches until the end of story mode, let's just make that Green League because I can see how this would get repetitive very quickly because it's just facing computers. So once we reach the end of Green League, we'll probably do online matches. Or even better, we might do online matches occasionally in between regular league or regular leagues. Oh, I got hit. There's the burst. And that is game. In this episode, we won't be doing another set of league matches because we wanted to keep the episode short enough for you to watch the whole thing. Maybe we'll reach level 5 by the time we stop this episode. Nope, never mind. That was the 5th match. Alright, so let's just do one online match to have fun. Show you what an online match is like. Oh, I went to local battle, my bad. let's just do a ranked match for our very first online match to sort of risk it. First battle, hopefully it's not a Chandelure. And it's a Shadow Mewtwo. Alright, that pretty much just spoiled a lot for the game. Sorry for those of you who had to find out that Shadow Mewtwo is in the game. It's pretty much just a collectible, or not a collectible, but if you beat the story mode, you unlock him. So for those of you who didn't know Shadow Mewtwo was a playable character, sorry. Not to mention a very spammy character. So we'll probably just be walking up to him and countering. Shadow Mewtwo has this effect on him where if he's battling, or like certain moves that he does take away his own health, which can be very annoying for Shadow Mewtwo because they have the lowest health in the game. But he also has a move that can heal his health, which is also pretty cheap. Yep, see, that move took away some of his health. Alright, let's use our burst before he can use his. There we go. See, right there, I sort of got fancy, I guess you could say, by pretending to pretending to counter cancel, and then fake the grab. That way he would try to attack back while I could just counter him. So for our first online match, we won. We reached level 5. And we got a lucky bonus, a green scarf. We earned 100,000 Pokegold. And yes, so sorry for being really very contradictive in this episode, with saying, oh, we won't be doing online matches till the end, and then saying, oh, we won't be doing online matches till we finish Green League, and then just doing an online match in the first episode. But that was just to give you a taste of online matches. We may do online matches very occasionally, but we'll be trying to finish story mode. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. And if you would like to see more videos from us, hit that subscribe button. Also, another good thing to say on this video, we have our own theme now. Or not theme, but theme song now for this channel. And so, for those of you who are watching this to the very end, that is about to show up now.